Hey everybody, I'm Carolyn from Tranquil Mentor. Today we're going to be making a gingerbread house out of 2 Dollar Tree dollhouses. A subscriber suggested this and we thought we would give it a go and show you how we did it. Some of our inspiration is from DIY Karem's Christmas Village video on YouTube. We love the way she designed her Dollar Tree Christmas village. Mostly everybody has these in their Dollar Tree. I tried to use 2 of the same because a lot of times people don't have the 2 different ones. So at first I took the roof off and I'm just clipping this area right here. We'll get that down pretty low as we can. I'll just keep trimming this up, pushing down as much as I can. We'll do the other side, and then as you get both of those off, take your sanding block, and they do have these at Dollar Tree. The sanding blocks aren't in the crafting aisle. They're usually in the aisle with all the painting supplies and brushes and everything. My husband helped me out here by taking this part of the roof off of, we took one of the extra roofs and we're cutting off this peak here because if you put it on the very top, it gives it some extra height. He's just slowing down the bandsaw a little bit to do this. Now you can also do this with a pair of snips, you know, just some kind of heavy duty snips here. And we did have a little bit of trouble because of the angle and everything, but he eventually got it. And then what he's doing here is just taking off some extra that he saw. He'll take a little bit off of the bottom too, but it might be easier just to trim it out. But that worked out really well. And here I've taken all the windows out and they are white, but I'm going to paint them with white. Here's all the pieces just taken apart with the windows out, and I did do a light sanding, and I used this Rustoleum 2x satin. It's called Blossom White and it works good on plastic, but a little light buffing was really good with that block. And then I just sprayed everything. I laid everything out distant from each other, far apart from each other, and then just did some coats. Now this does help a lot with coverage when you're painting, but it doesn't always, you got to do a few coats on it. Okay, and now for the color of the gingerbread, I'm taking some acrylic brown paint that I got at Dollar General. Dollar General's near me, so sometimes I go and grab colors that I need. And then I just have some chalk paint. I thought the chalk paint would be, the white chalk paint would be good for coverage, and it did work out really good. So I'm going to take the color here and mix it till I get it. I got this brown color, this light brown that reminds me of gingerbread. And here I'm taking some of that chalk paint again and just some red paint that I got, and I mean it's just red from Michael's. And I take a tiny little bit because once you get red in a color, it just really gets dark. So what I'll do is I'll just keep adding white into here till I get a very light pink, because I really didn't want to go too Pepto-Bismol pink, just a very light brushing of pink. So I'm going to do all of the windows except for this door and the trim around the door and that top piece, because I pretty much want that second level door just to blend in and not so that you don't see it. This acrylology paint is a red oxide color and it does look like cranberry. It's one of my favorite colors at Dollar Tree. So I wanted the curtains to stand out a little bit, so I'm just taking my brush and painting up the curtains on the side, and there'll be the windows on the side of the house, and they do need a few coats. I just took my time and I let everything dry. Some of it dried overnight. Now for the door, I have this sapphire blue and this pool blue, and I'm going to take a little bit of black, and there is some metallic in that blue. I thought that would be a nice effect, a pearlized effect. I'm just going to mix the colors together to get what I want. A good idea too here would be to use the white plastic paint holder that you can mix your paint in, because then you could take tin foil and put it over it and save it for the next coats. What I ended up doing a lot here was mixing the color to get what I wanted, and then mixing the color again when I had to do the next few coats. No big deal or anything, but here's the color that I decided to do the door. I did get that just right here. So we do have white underneath it, which really helped out a lot as far as not having to do 50 coats. So I'll do my first coat here, and then we'll let that dry, and I'll do a couple more coats on that just to get that the color that I want. And you'll see here that it's the nice color blue. I've been seeing that a lot lately on Grandin Road and places like that as far as the gingerbread houses. So I thought I would use these colors. They're very soft looking. And then I'm taking a jumbo popsicle stick, and I wanted to have a balcony on the upper level. And then this piece here is from the Dollar Tree dollhouse. I believe it's a coffee table, not too sure, but anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of dimension here and just hot glue this on, and then paint that after. But I thought it would look good as far as the balcony. It sticks out a little bit, and it will look like part of the balcony. So we want that door to be recessed, basically not seen and pointed out. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but anyway, I'm gluing that down, and that'll be our balcony, our upper balcony. Okay, and then I'll just hold tight, and then we'll get those glued together after we put the balcony on. Okay, and then here's showing how I hot glue that on. I just put hot glue as quickly as I can because it dries so fast. So I've got my 2 stories here now, and it really gives it a lot of nice height and dimension. And then you'll see I painted everything, and then I've got that piece on the top glued. I glued that in place. We'll take our straws. These are straws that had flamingos on them from the summer collection at Dollar Tree. I wanted to make it look like candy canes coming down the side. So I'm gluing these straws on the side. I'm going to put a little pearl first. I use pearls throughout here just to give it a softness of color. Just as I was saying, that I've seen a lot of soft colors this year. Last year too, but it's still continuing on. That's why I chose, instead of the red, I chose this pink. I'm just going to line that up. I'll trim it off at the bottom, and then I'll put the rest of them on and glue the rest of those on there. For the balcony, I decided to take some of the pink straws and measure those out, and I just cut them. And then what I'm going to be doing is just eyeballing them and positioning throughout the porch. I'm not going to measure the balcony piece or anything like that. I just cut those and measured one off of the other. Okay, and then this does need a little something here to soften it up. So I have some pearls that I got from Dollar Tree a long time ago. I'm putting those on, and before I get those all set up here, I decided we need a little bit more interest here. So I had some of these from scrapbooking, from my old scrapbooking days. I thought I would put those on. And then you can see here too that I've finished the pearls on top of the little post for the balcony. Sometimes if you take the pearls and you put them on a paper towel, they don't roll as much. And I'm going to put, these are the larger pearls that you get at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put feet on this because I want it to have it stand up a little bit. And I glued all of those on, and I really just eyeballed them. It's not real steady, as you can see. We'll get that steadied up a little bit later. Now this is just something that I had on a bag or a package that someone gave me. I save all of my ribbon from everything, and it always comes in handy. So what I wanted to do is this area here that is a little awkward where the balcony meets the popsicle stick. I thought I would just cover that up a little bit. I have this contraption that I made here that I really like. It's from a sponge stick, and then I just put the little finger protector on it. It works okay. In some instances you can't use it, but I'm just taking a little bit of glue here, and then I'm just going to put that ribbon on and get that across, and I will continue that on the other side also, but it does cover up in a little bit of camo. And then we'll take that other ribbon and put that on, and we'll see what we think, how that looks, and then I'll glue that in place. But I do like the way that that's looking now. It does cover it up. And then I've got all the other sides done and glued, and then we'll take just a tiny bit of hot glue here. We've got that one on, and then, you know, I'm covering up really the area underneath the porch there, underneath the balcony. Just a little bit of camouflage there. And it creates some softness too with the ribbon and the pearls. And then up here, I thought we needed a little something here just to really make this look like a balcony. And I had this tiny little ribbon, probably back from Walmart. You know, very, very thin and tiny. And I'm just going to put a little bit of dab glue here. And then I'll take that finger. The reason why I'm using the other side is because I realized that there's hot glue on it and then it would probably transfer. So I'm using that side. But you would normally use the silicone side. Okay. We've got that part done, and the ribbon is on, and the little ribbon, I just wove it through the top there. And then I have these recollection wreaths that I got from Michael's, and I think I got them last year. They've been around a while, and you should be able to find them if that's what you wanted. And also Dollar Tree has them too. And I wanted the ribbon pink so that it was, you know, blend in. It would have been fine in check as well, but I painted it pink. So here what I've got is this rhinestone ribbon, also from Dollar Tree. I want to put a little bit of pizzazz here on the ribbon so that it looks like it has something. And I've got this Sharpie, which is a light pink. The Sharpies work really good with coloring the rhinestones. So this way you don't have to always have a million different colors of rhinestones. You can always, as long as you have the color Sharpie, you're all set. And I've been seeing some really good deals on the Sharpies too at Walmart and everything. They have big packages of them for Christmas. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue here and get that glued on. You can't really see that they're colored pink, but I can see it. You can't see it on camera too good, but it's nice to be able to have that leeway where you can make them a certain color. And then I'm just going to trim that off, and here's how that turned out. I just love it. I really think it added that extra pizzazz that it needed there. And we have our old Model Magic from Dollar Tree, our air dry clay. And this is a first for me. I saw someone do this on YouTube and I really wanted to try it. I'm taking the air dry clay and I want to put some fake whipped topping on my roof. So I'm twisting that as it goes through. Now for here, I probably didn't even need the bag. It would have been really good to have a metal one, and I could have just fed it into the end without even using the bag. But that's what I decided to do. So I'm just going to continue to push through. It's a little bit hard to get it through the nozzle, and it does open up the nozzle quite a bit. So it was a little bit thicker and wider than I wanted, but all in all, I really did like the way that it came out. And what I did was when I got done with it, I put it on here. Now I do have to wait 3 days for it to dry pretty much before I can work with it. So I really did like the way that it came out. And here's, I believe these are couches, but I'm not sure. I wanted to make some planters. So I took some of this magenta, this metallic magenta color, and that is from Michael's. I'm just going to pour some of that out. You really only need a tiny bit. I have some white paint on there too. That's just some of that latex paint that I've been using. It's just regular like Glidden house paint. And I'm mixing that together. I used a combination of the white and that latex paint. It's what I had next to me, but you could use the chalk paint also. The Waverly chalk paint could work just as well. It helps with adhering. Okay, and then now in those planter boxes, I decided that I was going to make some lollipops. I'm going to use these little scrapbook paper that I have. I just grabbed a bunch of colors out of my stock there. I'm taking a hole punch and just punching through, and I'm going to make these lollipops. Now, some of what I used was from Temu also. I had some polymer clay little rounds, and I used those too. I made a mixture of them, but I just wanted to be able to show you. Now, these are white. They're toothpicks, and they're just painted white. What I did was I stood them up in that styrofoam and I painted them. And then when they were dry, I hot glued the little circles on and to make the lollipops. And here, what I want to do too is those round spheres that I have in my hand right now, they are from Temu. They have such a good deal on all that stuff. The ones next to me, the big bag, they are from Temu also, but I really liked the harder ones. They just were easier to work with. So I'm going to take my Model Magic, have something that looks like snow here that I can put these lollipops in. So I'm just rolling up a piece here and getting it just right, kind of make it a little tube, and then I will pack that in there. Maybe a little bit more hanging over, whatever you like to do. And then I'm just placing the lollipops in there. And as that, over a few days, as that Model Magic dries, they'll be held in place without a problem. So just move these around. I push some of them forward. And if I didn't like the way it was, I just moved them and just to get the colors right. But I love the way that turned out, and then I'll just repeat it on the other side. And then here, now we're going to be decorating our whip topping here. I waited for this to dry. I probably could have done it a different way. I probably would have been able to do it as it was wet and then maybe have an easier time of it. But this is the way I did it, and it really came out fine. So I think either way is good. And I've got them all set. I had some stars that I got from Temu, and I had some of those round polymer clay circles. So here I'm going to make a wreath, and I just got some cardstock, and I needed a base for it. So I cut a hole in it in the middle with my hole puncher, and then I'm just going to cut a bunch of holes in it that makes the shape. And then now that we have the shape, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I've got my Dollar Tree glue there. I'm just putting on the little shapes that I got from Temu. You could certainly do this with the cardstock paper, but I had these and I wanted to use them. I thought they would have a little bit of height, but the paper works just as well to make something like this, and you could just stack it up on top of each other. And then when I got finished, I just trimmed it out, and there we have our little wreath. And then I put a bow on it. I had something from Dollar Tree for fingernails, and I put that bow on it. And then I made these candy canes with the air dry clay, and then I just painted stripes on them. I let them dry for a few days. Then I have that peppermint, and some of the peppermints I made, and the peppermint in the middle is from Dollar Tree. And here's some faux snow and some glitter. Glitter was from Michael's, but I actually am not going to use that. But anyway, you can also see that I did the pearls, and I stacked up pearls that I got from Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I just glued one on top of the other, and I thought that would give some height. And then I put little pearls in the wreath for some color in the wreath too. I thought it needed some color. And then I'm taking this pearl white that I got from Michael's. I'm just going over the roof to try to make it a little bit look like snow and icy. So I coat all over, and I do coat down on the other part of the house too. just wipe a little bit out just so that it gives it that icy type of look there. That part I think looks good there. Well, we have to let that dry. And then I'm just going to wipe out with my finger a couple of the areas, and then we'll go through to, as I was saying, we'll do the rest of the house. And then, sorry, that's upside down, but I have my Mod Podge. I'm going to put the Mod Podge all over the areas that I want the faux snow to stick to. So I put my Mod Podge in here. I have my fan brush, which I just love. You can use a larger brush too if you want to. I'm just going to coat all along, and this will create a great seal for everything as well. And it can also at the very end be sprayed. But I'm just sporadically putting this Mod Podge around where I want snow to stick to. And then I'm going to take my snow. Now I have a paper down because otherwise this creates a mess. It's a huge mess. So what we'll do is we're just going to center ourselves here into the paper. It's just butcher paper. And I'm just sprinkling everything. I mean, you can use copy paper too, or whatever you have. Parchment paper will work too. And this way you don't have a huge mess to clean up because it gets everywhere. So I keep looking and sprinkling and dumping it. It looks like I'm dumping it a lot more aggressively because the video is sped up. I wanted to get a little bit of snow on that balcony there. A lot of it didn't stick, so I thought I would just take my brush with some more Mod Podge and go in there and sprinkle it in. Just any spot that you see that you want more, you just paint it with your brush, your Mod Podge, and just sprinkle it back over. And there was just so many areas too that I just wanted to add to that I saw, like up here. I figured I'd sprinkle a little bit more there. And then I did have some areas where there was just a lot. I put some on that bottom patio. That block that is painted pink down there, and it's one of the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. That was, I just painted it and glued it on, and it gives some stability because it's a little top heavy. And here we have it. I've got some candles in the background. I have a little couple here, gingerbread man and woman, or boy and girl, and they're holding hands. And I've got a little mat that I made with a picture from Creative Fabrica, a graphic. And then you can see the little wreath. And I put some peppermints, tiny little peppermints on the railings. I made those peppermints up on top. And I did those out of air dry clay. And then I put some air dry clay up at the rooftop and up at the very peak also. But you could see down the side, I've got a little pink tree here so that it kind of pulls everything together. And the pearls, I just think gives it that softness and the elegance. And the roof looks so good. It looks like it's iced up and everything. So very, very exciting. I like the way that the wreath came out with the little pearls in it. And I used the marker for those too. You can see our little side curtains and some of the little peppermints that I had put in. Tiny little peppermints. They're from Temu. I just love this. I'm so excited at the way that it came out. And I'll just give you a backup. I've got a tablescape that I put together here. I just wanted it to look all pulled together so you could get some ideas of how to do a tablescape. And the lights that are in there, you probably can't see them too well in the daylight here, but I have just the Dollar Tree lights that they're the little tea lights, the battery operated. And here is what it looks like at night. And you could see the tea lights really well in the window. And I just reach in the back and I put each one on. We've got our little gingerbread boy and gingerbread girl couple there standing on some glass. That's from Dollar Tree. we're just zoom in on the front here. You could see the porch. You could see all the little snow on there. And then I had some pom-poms from Dollar Tree last year. So I put those on so that they would look like snow. That peppermint is from the bottom of the trees, the pink trees. I grabbed that and used that. So there's a lot of items you could do. And that doormat is cut. It's a foam piece on the bottom, just pink foam, and then a picture from Creative Fabrica, and I put that all together. And then that candle, and then the Christmas sign, that's from a couple years back too. So I'm just absolutely excited about the way that it came out, and I hope you like it too. And if you do make a Dollar Tree gingerbread dollhouse, tag us on Instagram or visit us on Facebook at Tranquil Mentor. And don't forget to visit DIY Karem's channel for her video for her Christmas village. And if you're already one of our subscribers, welcome back. And thanks for watching our video today. And if you're not a subscriber, welcome, welcome. And if you would be so kind to subscribe and like our video, it helps YouTube notice us a little bit more, and it supports our channel and helps us grow. And as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.